Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Today we have a very special guest. Yes, we have Paolo DeMaria, the state superintendent. I hope I said your name correctly. How you doing
Good,
today,
Mr. Carey.
sir?
Very good.
How are you doing?
Excellent. Excellent. How are you, sir?
I'm well. I'm very well. Thank you for coming and reading to our kids at Trevitt. We appreciate it. First off, before we jump into things, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am the state superintendent of public instruction for the state of Ohio. I work for the State Department of Education, which is kind of, everybody knows about different levels of government. So you have the principal of the school is the head of the school. And then there's a school district, and Dr. Dixon is the head of the school district. Then I'm the head of the State Department of Education. We all work together to make sure our schools are great and students are having a great learning experience every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I've actually been to your office, and it was kind of cool to go up to the top floor and look out the window and talk to you about some policies.
Good stuff.
So thank you again. Can I ask you a question? What does it take to become a state superintendent? Like, what was kind of your journey to get to that stature, that place?
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of times people think, well, I must have been a teacher or a principal, and I really was not a practitioner in education. But it turned out that I had a really good skill at helping lead organizations, getting people to understand what they were trying to accomplish and working together to do a really great job and get a lot of good things done. And so when I applied for this job, that's kind of what the State Board of Education was looking for, was somebody who could, make sure things were going smoothly and well and effectively and making a difference. So my previous jobs were all in government. Some were about budgeting, some were about education policy, some were about organizational management, and I brought all those skills together to do the work I do now.
Yes, sir. How long have you been state superintendent? I'm sorry.
For a little more than 4.5 years now.
Okay. Is that position appointed, or is it you had to interview?
Yeah, it's selected by the State Board of Education. Okay. And that happened back in 2016 for me.
Cool. I did not know that. That's why I was like, let me ask that real quick, because I did not know that. See, I'm a teacher and I'm still learning too.
That's okay. We're all learning. We're all learning.
Yes, sir. So I'm curious, what book do you have for us today?
Well, the book I chose is this one. It's called The Hello Goodbye Window by Norton Juster and Chris Flascka. It's about a window, a kitchen window in a home. And I liked it because I think during this pandemic, a lot of us have had to stay home, and, windows are kind of our view on the world. And so this is about a child and grandparents and this window in a kitchen and all the great things that happen around that window.
Oh, everybody, are y'all ready? Let's get ready. Here we go.
I'm going to move myself a little bit. So as I said, this book is called The Hello Goodbye Window. The Hello Goodbye Window, story by Norton Juster, pictures by Chris Flascka. Nana and Poppy live in a big house in the middle of town. There's a brick path that goes to the back porch, but before you get there, you pass right by the kitchen window. That's the Hello Goodbye window. It looks like a regular window, but it's not. See, here's the window right here, and you can see Poppy and Nana looking out. The kitchen is where Nana and Poppy are most of the time. So you can climb up on the flour barrel and tap the window, then duck down, and they won't know who did it. Or you can press your face against the glass and frighten them. If they're not in the kitchen, you can't do any of those things, and you have to wait until next time. If they see you first, they wave and make silly faces. Sometimes Nana peekaboos me, which always makes me laugh. So I get a lot of extra fun and hellos before I even get inside. See, he's looking through the window at Nana and Poppy. Just look at the kitchen. It's so big. It has a table you can color on and lots of drawers to take stuff out of and play with. But you can't touch anything under the sink. You could get very sick. There are shelves full of glass jars with lots of everything in them, a step stool so I can wash my hands, and all kinds of pictures from the olden days. Nana says she even used to give me a bath in the sink when I was little. Really? Sometimes Poppy plays his harmonica for me. He can only play one song, Oh, Susanna, but he can play it a lot of different ways. He can play it slow or fast, or he can play it sitting down or standing up. He says he can even play it and drink a glass of water at the same time, but I've never seen him do that. See, he's sitting here playing his harmonica. When I stay over, we have our supper in the kitchen too, and when it's dark outside, we can look at our reflections in the window. It works just like a mirror, except it's not in the bathroom, and it looks like we're outside looking in. Poppy says, "What are you doing out there? You come right in and have your dinner." And I say, "But I'm here with you, Poppy." And then he looks at me in his funny way. See, they're making faces in the window like a mirror. Just before I go to bed, Nana turns off all the lights, and we stand by the window and say goodnight to the stars. Do you know how many stars there are? Neither do I, but she knows them all. In the morning, the first place we go is back to the kitchen, and there's the window waiting for us. You can look out and say good morning to the garden, or see if it's going to rain, or be nice. And you can see if the dog next door is doing stuff in Nana's flower beds. She hates that. Sometimes Poppy says in a real loud voice, "Hello, world. What have you got for us today?" Nobody ever answers, but he doesn't care. Poppy makes breakfast. He says it's his specialty. My favorite is oatmeal with bananas and raisins that you can't see because he hides them down inside. I find them all. When I get dressed, I help Nana in the garden. It's a very nice garden, but there's a tiger who lives behind the big bush in the back, so I don't ever go there. I ride my bike too. Not in the streets, please. Or collect sticks and acorns. Not in the house, please. Or just kick my ball around. Sometimes when it's hot, Poppy chases me with a hose, and I yell, "Stop it, Poppy, stop it." When he does, I ask him to do it again. Nana just shakes her head. See him spraying with the hose? When I get tired, I come in and I take my nap, and nothing happens until I get up. Then sometimes I just sit by the hello goodbye window and watch. Nana says it's a magic window and anybody can come along when you least expect it. Tyrannosaurus Rex, he's extinct, so he doesn't come around much. The pizza delivery guy, pepperoni and cheese, he knows that's my favorite. The Queen of England. Nana is English, you know, so the Queen likes to come for tea. They all could come, and a lot more if they want. And if they do, I'll see them first. Mommy and Daddy picked me up after work. I'm glad because I know we're going home, but it makes me sad too because I have to leave. Nana and Poppy, you can be happy and sad at the same time, you know. It just happens that way sometimes. When we leave, we always stop at the window to blow kisses goodbye. When you look from the outside, Nana and Poppy's house has lots of windows, but there's only one hello goodbye window, and it's right where you need it. When I get my own house someday, I'm going to have a special hello goodbye window too. By that time, I might be a Nana myself. I don't know who the Poppy will be, but I hope he can play the harmonica. The end. I hope you enjoyed that.
And I love that book. I'm curious. That looked really, really good. I think you answered this before, but I have a question for you. Why did you choose that book?
Well, I like the idea of the window. Like I said, during this pandemic, when we've all been inside a lot, and we don't really want to be, although this child wasn't, always inside. But, the idea of having a window so you can sort of, see things and have some interaction. And I love, my home has a lot of windows, and I always love the light shining through because it makes it so cheerful. And I can see out to my garden. In fact, right now I'm starting to see the crocuses blooming and the daffodils are coming up, and it's a very joyful time here at the start of spring. So that always fills my heart with joy and makes me feel really positive.
And I also love the fact that when she was sitting beside her window as well, because that was kind of like her TV. She had some imagination. And my favorite thing, everybody, because I love dinosaurs, was the dinosaur, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's right.
And then
you never know what you're going to see.
Mm-hmm. And then her manna was the Queen of England, because she was English.
Yeah.
I love that she used her imagination as well.
Yeah.
I love that book. Thank you for reading that to us. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have one more question for you, good sir. What advice would you have for us at Trevitt, for the kids at Trevitt?
Well, first of all, I love this program where people are reading because I love to read, and I tell everybody I meet, young and old, that keep on reading. Find books that you love. Read them to bring joy to you, to cultivate your imagination, to make you feel good, for enjoyment, but also for, learning new things. I love to read a lot because I always learn things, or I have a fun time and I enjoy the beautiful drawings, the beautiful words, the great stories, and that makes me feel good. So read to other people, and always be a reader for your whole life.
Yes, that's important. And if you can't pick up a book, there's always audio.
That's right. That's right. And you've got libraries, and, usually somebody has books around that you can use.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming on and spending your time with us. I know this is going to be huge. Everybody, did y'all love the book?
Well, you keep up the great work, Mr. Carey, and your kids are fantastic, and I know they are excited to always be learning and growing and being part of Trevitt.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. All right,
Thanks
everybody. Bye-bye.